Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and future Home Energy Score assessors. My name is Brent Loya. I am the Home Energy Score project manager with Paperless Inspectors, powered by Inspection Depot. I'm here to give us a little run through of the different training modules in the SIM training, and hopefully, I'm going to get you guys through this training a little more quickly than you usually would if you were doing this on your own. But before we get into the houses and I kind of walk you guys through the different training houses, I really highly recommend that you go through and you read all of these resources here listed on the introduction page or the primary resources here. Now, through the training, I'm going to be using the SIM User's Manual quite a bit. I have it open here in another tab, and it's really going to help me figure things out like what these computer animated HVAC systems are, or for instance, the insulation levels. This is what you're going to look at inside the sim. Don't get too worried about it now. We'll get there, but this is a great reference. I have it open in another tab. You can also download it as a PDF or a JPEG, however you want to do it. So you don't have to be taking up any more internet with having an open tab here. Now, so highly recommend having this one open. There's these step-by-step guides to Training House 1 and 2. We're going to be walking through those. Those are also kind of like a walkthrough that you got to read through. So depending on your learning style, they may be very helpful. They may not be very helpful, but I highly recommend you at least review them before getting started. There's a part 2 study guide. I'll talk about this later. I'll do a little test prep for you guys, but really important to study the study guide to make it through that multiple choice test at the very end of your training. And also a hugely important aspect of the training is you're going to want to open this assessor calculator. The assessor calculator is going to help us derate a bunch of different efficiency ratings. I have mine open in Excel right now, and it's going to help us derate our HVAC systems. It's going to help us derate insulation levels and all of the above. It's a really great tool that we basically need to have. So make sure you have that open or save it to your computer. If you click this link right here, it'll let you open and or save that. So get that assessor calculator up. It's popping back up on me. Get that assessor calculator open and ready to use because we'll definitely be using it. Before you begin as well, check out the secondary resources about this home, roof, attic, foundation. These resources go through each section of the Home Energy Score. These are the basic sections, and really gives you a look not just at it as far as being in a real home, but also getting through these sections in the sim. So these resources are really great to review, will definitely make you not just a better home energy score assessor, but will help you get through this training that much more easily. There's an extra resource here, the building science. This is a great PDF about building science from the Department of Energy. Now, if you haven't been doing a lot of energy audits or a lot of energy type inspections, it's a great thing to brush up on. A lot of things you probably know, but in relation to energy efficiency and the system of a home, a really great reference right here. So I highly recommend checking this out. It might not pertain directly to the sim, but maybe save that one on your computer to read one night while you're sipping tea before you go to bed. So once again, make sure you have this SIM User's Manual open somewhere, whether it's another tab on your screen or whether it's downloaded on a folder on your desktop, and make sure you have this assessor calculator open. And with no further ado, we're going to get started on House 1. So as you can see, 3D practical training, we can minimize and open these tabs. We're going to get started on house number 1. Now, there's a training mode and there's a challenge mode. And, up here it says required 90% on a challenge mode, unlimited attempts. Best practice, achieve 95% on a training scenario. I'm going to go through the training mode because that's what I'm allowed to do. I can't go through a challenge mode with you guys. But we're going to go through a training mode. But what I would recommend for you guys is, since you have unlimited attempts for the challenges, go ahead and just start the challenges after you go and do this tutorial with me. That way, especially after doing this tutorial, I have supreme confidence we are all going to get 90% or above. But that way, you don't do a training module, you get above a 90%, and then you got to do this challenge mod. And need to get above a 90%. To me, it just is going to take longer and longer. Now, If you want to do a training mode, if you want to do it for your own practice, for your own good, I'm not going to hold you back. But to make it through the training more quickly, I'd say just hit up the challenge modes and get grinding. So let's start the training mode though, and we're going to go through this house step by step with you guys. This first tutorial might get a little lengthy because I'm going to try to be as detailed as I can for you guys out there. And then the tutorial 2 and 3, we might run through it a little quicker. But we're going to start here with scenario 1. There's 10 different scenarios for the house. So that means it's always going to be the same house, but in each scenario, you're going to have different elements in the house, different HVAC equipment, different window types, different roofing types, perhaps different ceiling heights or conditioned floor areas. Just because you're on house number 1 and let's say you got 85% on one, so you have to redo it again, and you jotted down all the information, don't just type that in thinking that you're being sneaky and that you got all the information already, because all that information is going to change scenario to scenario. And when you're in a challenge mode, it's going to randomly select a scenario for you. So you never know what you're going to get in those challenge modes. We're just going to start off here with scenario 1. And with that, welcome. We are inside the sim training, people. Now, before we even start going inside the house, a few quick tips for you guys. So you navigate through the sim module with the arrow keys on your computer. So I'm tapping the back key, I'm tapping the front key, the left is turning left, the right is turning right. And as you can see, I'm kind of, my screen isn't lagging. I'm actually just tapping the keys. This is going to be the easiest, my best advice for you guys. Don't hold the key down. You're going to get stuck behind furniture and behind doors and in hallways. Just tap little by little. It is technology, and a lot of people, are gamers and computer whizzes, and you're probably rolling your eyes saying, hurry up, or fast forwarding this part of the video. But those of you guys who aren't, really just tap the keys, be very patient. And have a good internet connection is really going to help you get through this. Now, let's get started with this data collection. So I'm going to open this clipboard right here. I'll close it so you guys can see again. We got our clipboard. We have our home, which is going to be our floor plan right here. It gives us how many floors we got, kind of the setup and dimensions of the house. And I have this great calculator tool down here as well that we'll be using later to find the room area and finding different window areas of different sides of the house. And then down here on the left side, we have our different tools, our toolbox. We got the tape measure, we got the compass, we got the stud finder, and we got a low E meter, okay? So those are all going to be pertinent tools that we need to use to successfully get through this. So once again, I'm going to open my clipboard. This is where all of our data collection is going to go. And the first one out there, let's just say everyone better get this one right. It's the year built, and it's listed right here in the comment section, 1959. So let's just type that in, 1959. And like I said, take your time when you're going through these modules. If you only got 20 minutes and you know you're going to be rushing through it, make sure you set aside some time, especially for this first one, to kind of get it under your belt. Because when you type in these answers, you'll see when I click off that I got this nice check mark right here. That means that I got that right. But as you can also see, I'm clicking in this year built section. I can't change that. So as soon as you pick your answer, you can't go back, and even on these training modules. So especially in the challenges, really take your time to make sure that you're entering in the correct information. Next, we got to find the number of bedrooms. So instead of walking through the whole house, I'm going to just open up this diagram right here. I'm going to see our basic floor plan. Here I can see we got a master bedroom and a guest bedroom. We only have one floor here, so I'm pretty confident that we got a 2-bedroom home. I'm going to go back to my clipboard, and I'm going to enter in 2 bedrooms. Now, stories above ground level, as we just saw, it's a 1-story house from the floor plan. Pretty confident. I'm going to press that 1. Perfect. If you really want to be sure, you can back up. Okay, 1-story house, cool. And next we got interior floor to ceiling height and then conditioned floor areas. I'm going to skip those for a second and get all the easy ones out of the way. So down here, direction faced by front of house. So to find the direction, I'm going to close the clipboard. I'm going to use our little compass tool right here. When I click it, it's going to bring us into this little animation here. And the red part of the arrow is where the north should be facing. So I'm going to just click these little arrows and get the north right onto the red. Okay, perfect. So that's my true north. This is the front of the house. As I can see, the house is facing west. In the sim, the front of the house is always going to be facing this top side of the screen. So north is the red point. The house faces west. I can click this red X to get out of that animation. Go back to my clipboard and direction house faced. I can say west. Okay. Was a blower door test conducted? Blower door test? No. Easy. Now, this pop-up says, has the house been professionally air sealed or rated for energy efficiency? This information would come up here in your comments. So since we don't have any information about professionally air sealed or energy rated, we can say no, don't know. Now, let's get to the tougher ones. Interior floor to ceiling height. So this one, we're going to have to jump inside the house a little bit. But instead of just tapping all the way through, getting upstairs and through doors, you can really use these quick links up on the top to get around the house much quicker. I can click main to go to the inside of the home. I can go to the roof. I can go up in the attic just by a click of the button without having to go up any stairs or around any corners or anything like that. So I'm going to go back to the main. And now we're inside the house. So we want to find the interior floor to ceiling height. So I'm going to use this tape measure tool right here. Click that. And as you can see, the dimensions of the home pop up. And I can kind of, once again, tap around the house. And I see there's my measurement for my floor to ceiling, 9 feet. Now, I want to go and check around the rest of the house, see if I have any different measurements. As we all know, houses can have multiple different ceiling heights. And we need to find an average ceiling height for this home so we can calculate the volume correctly. So I'm going to tap around. Let's go peek in here into the master bedroom. Okay, I don't think I see anything in here. Let's check out the guest room just to be sure. Oh, what a lovely house this is, huh? So let's check it out. Guest bedroom. And tapping. I don't see any floor to ceiling height measurements. Okay, just that 9 out in the living room. So I'm going to be pretty confident that my average floor to ceiling height throughout the entire house is 9 feet. So I'm going to go here and we're going to do 9 feet. Bingo. All right, last thing for the About This Home section, condition floor area. Now, we're going to go and click back onto our floor plan to check out the dimensions. And as we can see here, we basically have 2 rectangles, right? A 28 by 16 rectangle and a 25 by 28 rectangle. However you want to do it, you got a calculator next to you, you're using the calculator on your phone, or what I recommend is using this calculator that's provided right here. It just makes things easy. It keeps everything in one place for you right on the screen. We want our room calculator, okay? So if you get into a complicated house with different ceiling heights in different areas and you need to find out floor areas for sections or rooms themselves, this makes it incredibly handy. For this house, it's very simple, just those 2 rectangles, right? So we got a 28 by 16, and that's 448 square feet, and we got a 28 by 25 rectangle, right? So we got this top rectangle and we got this bottom rectangle. The blue is showing that it is all conditioned floor area, which gives me 1148 as a total floor area. So I'm going to close my calculator, close my house, open my clipboard, and we're going to type in 1148. And bingo, baby. We got the About Home section done. So let's keep moving on to roof, attic, and foundation.